Alright, so I'm getting used to this 15-minute format, and I was not able to complete what I wanted to do from yesterday, so this from the earlier recording. So this is part 2 of activity 3, and hopefully I can keep this nice and slim so we can get to the point. As we left off with Excel activity 3, we had just sorted our information according to total cases and sorted our country information according to total cases. If you missed that, please go back to the part 1 of activity 3. And then we also tried to create a chart based on our state information. The way that we access our charts are in the Insert tab, and here we can see that there's an area, a charts group, that shows us a couple of different ways to create charts. When you're dealing with charts, it takes practice. You guys will notice that some different charts, if I create them, they just don't seem to make a whole lot of sense. All right, I create this in a pie chart, and pie charts are supposed to represent parts of a whole, and something that adds up to basically 100% of something, maybe 100% of your time. How do you use your activities, or 100% of our household income? Where are we spending all of our income, or where's that income coming from? Okay, but this right here, these are, they're different states. They're 5 states out of 50. They don't represent like a complete piece of information or a part of 100%. So a pie chart doesn't work here. All right, we can take that same information and look at an area chart. Okay, this area chart actually might give me a little bit better of a sense of things, but I still, unless I know exactly the kind of information I'm trying to demonstrate, not all charts are going to show it very accurately. Right, so here I just did the states, total cases, and I mean it's showing kind of like a large area for New York and a small area for Virginia. So there's some information that we can take out of that chart. But as a beginner working with charts in Excel, a lot of this comes with trial and error, as well as making sure that we are just paying good attention to using our critical thinking skills about, like, does this chart actually give information to my reader that they can make sense of and they can understand? Because at the end of the day, that's really what charts are meant to do. They're meant to make information more easily read by an audience. Okay, rather than looking at numbers, I like seeing these bars because that gives me like a visual representation of those numbers. Okay, I'm going to move forward then. Let's look at this chart area that we created by highlighting state, total cases, and going into data, inserting a bar chart. Okay, I chose a 2D bar chart, clustered bar, which gave me this output. Yours should look relatively similar, although your numbers are going to be different if you chose different states, obviously. The parts of a chart. At the top we have the title. In my opinion, especially as an amateur, every chart should have a title. I don't think you should see that as optional, unless you are really good at this stuff. You can sometimes skim that off, but it's always good to have a title. This along the left hand side is known as our vertical axis because it goes up and down. And our vertical axis right now shows our state names. This is our horizontal axis, the numbers. It goes left and right. The horizontal axis shows our numbers, or represents our numbers. And then down here where it says total cases, this is what's known as our legend. Our legend explains what those bars represent. If I had lots of information, again, we don't like this chart as a final product, but just to show you, the legend on this information includes, what the yellow bars represent new deaths, the blue total cases, orange new cases. So the legend explains what the colors represent. All right. We're going to modify this table a couple of ways. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to make this title a little bit more descriptive. How do we do that? Up at the top, if you look at your ribbon, you can see a new tab has appeared while I have the chart selected. This is known as a contextual tab. That's what they call it, a contextual tab, because it only appears when I have a chart selected. It's a chart one, so it's specific to my chart tools. Okay, in here, starting left to right, we have the ability to switch our rows and our columns. That looks a little bit like this. Okay. We can change which data we selected if we're not happy with what we've selected. We can change the chart type. So if we don't like the bar chart, we could switch over to column. Okay. And then here are our different labels and axes. So what we're going to do at first is we're going to change our chart title. If I click on chart title, I can see that I can change where it is located. And at the bottom here, what I'm going to have you select is edit chart title. We want to be a little bit more descriptive about this. It says total cases, and we're going to do total cases by U.S. state. Okay, so that we know that this chart is talking specifically about United States states. Total cases by U.S. state. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. The next thing that we're going to do in our chart tools is we're going to look at our axis titles. Click here, and you see I have some options for my primary horizontal axis. All right, this is horizontal, remember, is what's going left to right. Those are just numbers, and they're representing total cases. So we don't really need to change anything with that axis title. I am going to have you add a primary vertical axis title. We can see there's like pictures that represent how this is going to look. We're going to do a rotated title, and we're going to put this just plainly type that it is states. I click OK, and you see that states appears along the left hand side. Okay, so it's labeling that these are in fact states. All right. The last thing that I want to do is, sometimes we want less information. We're just showing, this chart is just showing like relative numbers. We can't see the exact numbers on the chart here. We can actually add the exact numbers to this chart so that it's a little bit more obvious for our reader. The way we're going to do that is under Data Labels. So we're going to click on Data Labels, and we're going to put them outside end is the option we're going to select. You'll see that that puts the exact numbers at the end of each bar so that we can see what those numbers actually represent. Okay, there's some other things that we can do here that we're not going to do. We can change the location of the legend where it sits in the area. We can include a data table. I'll just show you what that looks like. Alright, so it shows kind of like a list of the data underneath. I'm not going to leave that in there though. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And we can change kind of like the tick marks that happen around the outside or the grid lines. We might have a chance to work with some of those tools with a different chart. But right now this is exactly how I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move that down just by dragging and dropping. And I'm going to make sure that it is an appropriate size. So we're going to try to, using corner handles, fill it up from, let's say, the top corner of G4 to the bottom corner of N18. Okay, if you don't have it exact, that's okay. Just get it close. What I want you to do for the next part is I want you to do the exact same thing with your country information. And I'd like you to put that chart directly to the right of your state. So we're going to create, you, on your own time, are going to create a second chart, bar chart, exactly the same way that you did with this one. Okay, so it should have the same features. It should have a descriptive title. It should have an axis that says title that says countries. It should have the data labels set to outside end so that we can see an exact duplicate with the country information as we did with the state information. Okay? Alright, so that's going to end our activity 3. Be looking forward that we're going to do another couple of activities in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, good luck. And if you have any questions, please watch for my Zoom meetings that I'm going to be doing almost every day. Okay, have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.